I'm a fireball.
Week 1 is in the books, episode 7 of the Prano Brothers podcast. A lot of fireworks the first week. It was exciting. We ended with a bang with the Raiders over the Ravens. We started the week with the Cowboys just barely losing to the Bucs, so bookended a good week with a couple pretty good games. What'd you think about week 1?
Yeah, speak for yourself when you talk about excitement. As you can see, I'm not sure what you're wearing, but it looks like something black.
Kenny Stabler.
You'll notice that I want nothing to do with the Giants as of right now. So, yep, it's about where I'm at mentally on the season so far.
Yep, I hear you. I think we'll get into that a little bit later. So, all right, on this episode, I'm going to talk about our picks last week real quick, just highlight some highs and lows, get into Dome Dynasty, just looking at the league outlook from after week 1, and then we'll get into our week 2 picks. Sound good?
Works for me. Let's do it.
All right, I got to ask you what you're drinking because I know you're drinking something different this week.
So, having some car issues, can't really, be that mobile. Ran out of Clan, so had to go with the old trusty Black Velvet.
Yeah, Old Faithful there. And I switched to Blanton's because this is a night to celebrate, and that
riding high after week 1 win already.
Oh no, this is personal celebration, and the story's way too long to get into on the pod. But
okay.
Yeah. So drinking the good stuff tonight, Blanton's. Although the Raiders win is a nice cherry on top. So, all right, let's get into it. What's one of the picks that you didn't like that you made? Now, looking back, hindsight's always 20/20, but tell me about it.
All right. Well, actually, all 4 that I lost, I absolutely hate looking at them. Vikings, Titans, Redskins, and Giants. Now, I guess I would say the Vikings because for some reason, everyone thought the Vikings were just going to steamroll the Bengals. And I had my doubts. Everyone thought, oh, Joe Burrow, he stinks, blah, blah, blah. Look at preseason. And the Bengals come out. They're a real football team. Like, we got to stop thinking the teams are just going to steamroll teams when we have absolutely no idea. Should have taken the home dog. The 3 out of the 4 games I won were home dogs, or the Dolphins might have been on the road. Yeah, but the Texans,
they were on the road.
And the Steelers were on the road. Anyway, week 1, I like the dogs week 1, and I went against what I like. So I'm not happy about taking the Vikings over the Bengals.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the lineup falls when we make our picks this week. But a lot of people are talking about the Bengals. I think they're plus 2.5 on the road this week, and a lot of people are picking them. So, okay, good. I know we're only supposed to talk about one game that we didn't like we picked, but mine are the first 2 games. So Cowboys Buccaneers line was 9.5. I took the Buccaneers. That's just way too big of a line. Opening night when starters haven't played together, right? No starters playing preseason anymore, so there's going to be that rust you have to knock off. Cowboys were getting. Go ahead.
Let me stop you real quick. I did actually go to the Buccaneers Texans game the last week of preseason. And the Buccaneers played all their starters. Tom Brady was in, threw a touchdown to Brown. I saw.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Jones ran for a touchdown right in front of us. We were sitting in the 4th row because Texans tickets, you can get $20 first row. So
okay, all right. Yeah. I stand corrected there, but still, I mean, it's live game action after basically practices. So 9.5. I didn't feel great when I made it. Now looking back on my reasoning, hindsight's 20/20, but it was bad. And then the very next game that I picked was the Falcons over the Eagles. You called me out on it during the pod when I said the Falcons had enough firepower, and you mentioned they got rid of Julio. All they have is Ridley and Pitts, and it showed. They lost 32-6 to the Eagles, who I called a dumpster. Not a dumpster fire, just a little bit less than a dumpster fire, a straight dumpster. So those were 2 big mistakes that I made.
Yeah, and one thing I just want to say about both of those real quick. The Bucks, you were just looking at the Bucks side. You weren't thinking about the Cowboys side of the equation. It's week one. You think the Cowboys aren't the Cowboys organization. Those players aren't going to come out fired up, especially versus the Super Bowl champs. Like, they're all men. They all put their pants on one leg at a time. Like, it's not like Tampa is a bunch of like seniors in high school versus the Cowboys that are little freshmen.
Yep.
I mean, the Cowboys, unfortunately, are a real football team.
Yep. No, I definitely agree with you. All right, so one pick I want to give you a lot of credit for that I liked, Steelers over the Bills. I think the line was 6 or 6.5. The Steelers were getting. Are the Bills going to regress? Is Josh Allen going to regress? We'll see, but they did not look great. They only put up 16 points. I know the Steelers have a great defense, Fitzpatrick, Watt, but still the Bills had one of the best offenses in the league last year, and it just didn't show this time around. So good pick with the Steelers over the Bills.
Thanks, James. And one note on that too. I didn't really look at the injury report before making that pick. Actually, I didn't at all. But Roethlisberger coming back healthier than he has in the last couple of years. Steelers added a few pieces. I didn't notice anyone actually out for the Steelers. And the Steelers just added a few pieces to their defense. They always have a good defense. They got Devin Bush back. Like, the Steelers are a perennial, like, at least make it to the divisional round of the playoffs every year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah, and they got rid of their left tackle. I don't know what side he was playing on, Andre Villanueva, who was signed by Baltimore, and
who actually stunk it up versus the Raiders. Did you see him?
He had cement shoes on. Maybe Max Crosby is actually that good, but this guy had literal cement shoes on. And actually his hands, it looked like his hands were in cement with how slow he was getting his hands there too. So I really think he's a Steelers sleeper agent, and he just got signed by the Ravens so he could screw up that entire franchise.
It's possible. And he also has been in the league for like 15 years now.
Yeah, he's been around for a while for sure. So the Ravens have some work to do on the offensive line.
I guess we'll say he's no Andre Whitworth.
Yeah, exactly. Or Richie Incognito.
Oh, okay. Settle down.
He's good. All right.
Does he actually start for the Raiders still?
He was out with a calf strain. He should be back week 2.
He's real good. Yeah, he's good.
He's a Pro Bowl caliber player when he's not going crazy. And he's been pretty much on the straight and narrow since he got to Las Vegas. So that's good, which is just the biggest shock in the world, right?
Yep. He's got to be living in like some sort of prison house with guards, not letting him leave.
Oh, man. Yeah, Mayock and Gruden have their work cut out for him when building the roster, putting the roster together for sure.
Okay.
All right. Moving on, Dome Dynasty.
Hang on. I didn't tell you your good pick, which we don't really need to. I mean, Panthers, no-brainer. Seattle, no-brainer. Saints, no-brainer. Sorry, Derek, but I mean, that's just how it is. You picked the Raiders plus 3.5. You could have saw this bet months ago when you would have picked the Raiders plus 3.5. So, I mean, yeah, of course you have to pick them, but yeah, good bet. Well, what I'll say is good win. It's a good win.
Yep.
On the game and the bet. Yeah.
The surprising thing was after Peters and Gus Edwards went down, the line actually moved more into the Ravens' favor. More money was going to the Ravens. It moved from 3.5 to 4, and that just kind of baffled me. So so there was something going on there, and we play well early in the season. With Gruden, typically our blowouts and our bad losses always happen on the tail end of the season. We're very good in the first half in the first game. If you remember last year, week 2, we beat the Saints pretty handily at home. So we play our opponents well early in the season. So I thought that was a good bet.
Okay.
All right, Dome Dynasty. Not a lot of surprises. I don't think week 1 I was impressed. I'll shout out to Mike. He's putting up 208. Very, very solid showing from his squad. But because of the division he put himself in, he played Bob and the Muff Divers, who put up 240. So it looks like a blowout, but I think a pretty good showing from Mikey.
Yeah, Schmetz is going to have his work cut out for him versus you this week. You're already favored by about 48,000 points. We also saw Mikey miss the free agency window as we were all getting the notifications today. He was scrambling, making some moves like within the last few hours. So it'll be interesting to see what he does there. But you know what? He's still got Brady just going ham for him. And if you remember, like 4 or 5 years ago, we thought Mikey needs to find a new quarterback, but still got Brady.
Yeah, and he what was it, the fifth best fantasy output of the week from Brady? So pretty good stuff there.
Yeah.
All right. Any other observations? I'll say from Dome this week that you want to count on. It's so early. It's tough to tell who's going to contend or who's going to be a pretender. But yeah, anything else you want to call out?
No, I mean, I guess I would say for week 2, I mean, matchup of the week has to be Derek versus Bob, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if Derek loses and goes 0-2, I still think he's got a good team. We talked about it last week. His depth might not be there, which could cause some issues, but he's got studs at key positions, but still 0-2 is tough in a division with myself and Bob. You're basically fighting for a wild card spot if you drop to 0-2, I think.
Yep. So let me ask you this. If Derek does drop it to Bob this week, who do you think Derek blames? Do you think he blames himself or do you think he blames somebody else for his 0-2 start?
Well, he's definitely going to blame someone else, but I'm going to go back to his roster construction. And I called this out, I forget on which episode of the pod, but he's got like 87,000 defensive players on the bench, which is why he has no offensive depth. Like
he's got 8, yeah.
Pick
I'm
up
counting them.
You need one backup linebacker, one backup DB, and one backup defensive lineman. If you have any more than that, you're wasting roster spots, in my opinion. And I think I do have maybe two players on the defensive line on the bench and maybe an extra linebacker. But yeah, I just think with how many injuries happen, and now particularly with the short-term IR where you can put them on IR and go back at any time, like you need a lot of those guys on the bench because more offensive players are being rostered because guys can be kept on IR now.
Okay. I agree with that. But now looking at Derek's team and what happened, two things. I don't blame him for having defensive guys because some of his starter guys absolutely did nothing. So maybe he's trying to find like who's going to actually like produce this year and then get rid of the extra guys. Second thing, what was the final spread between your guys' game? Because, dude, he had 2.7 from Aaron Rodgers and 4.2 from Jones. If he would have got real games out of those guys, I think he beat you because he had he had the number 1 ranked running back, McCaffrey, number 1 ranked receiver, Tyreek Hill. I mean, number 5 receiver, Lockett, who's obviously a beast these days. Miles Sanders doing stuff. Like, if the Packers put it together, which we know they will, I think Derek's still going to be a force to contend with.
Yeah, it was only 11 points, the final spread there. I do think
Rodgers just has a mediocre game, not the worst game of his career, he beats you. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I will say he had Tyreek who put up 41, which, okay, not unheard of. That would have been his second highest output last year. He had one game last year with 61 points, so this would have been his second highest output. So, he had guys that went off where I think it helped cover up Rodgers and keep it close. If all his guys had, just a typical week and then Rodgers shit the bed, then the spread would have been a lot more. But he had some guys really go off.
Yep. He also had a lot of defensive guys do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that hurts. So,
yeah.
All right, good stuff. So I think that's it for Dome in terms of surprises. We'll, as things go on, we'll talk about potential playoff matchups and who we think is going to make it or miss the playoffs, but it's a little too early to get into that. I think we'll see how things shake out over the next couple weeks.
Or even much too early.
Yeah. All right. So do you want to get into this week's picks?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, first, I forgot to mention our results between the two of us. Last week, I was 4-3-1. I have a half game lead over you, who was 4-4. So Not too surprising. Pretty average weeks in general from the two of us. Hopefully, we can do better going forward.
Yep.
So this week, starting on Thursday night, which is the reason we're recording this podcast on Wednesday night, the New York, I don't even want to call them the football Giants. They're the New York Giants. I'm not sure what sport they're best at. Going on the road to Washington, only 3-point underdogs, which is a little surprising to me, but give me your thoughts.
Well, I could rant about the Giants for about, 45 minutes, but no one really wants to hear that because no one's Giants fans. Well, even Big Daddy are, but no one else is. But I've already penciled in Washington -3 because there's a 0% chance I'm betting on the Giants till they can prove to me they can actually win a game or cover. Now, I'll say two things that Dave Gettleman is his third or fourth year. His overall record's something like 15-35, something along those lines.
Okay.
Trust me, I read everything Monday, Tuesday, today. I've seen it all. The next thing, in Dave Gettleman's tenure as the Giants GM, at not one single point during any season have the Giants had a winning record. So why should I ever trust them or bet on them or expect them to win? You got this is a show me league. Prove to me. I'm done having blind faith in these idiots. They're absolute idiots. That's all you hear, all the talk. Oh yeah, we got Jabril Peppers, we got Galladay, we got this guy. It's like, oh wow, yeah, Giants have a great roster. Then they go out there and they completely suck. Second thing, I don't know if it's third or fourth thing, last thing. Jason Garrett, holy shit, he has to go. He is absolute garbage. He's a dinosaur. He's a Madden 2000 offensive coordinator. Great offensive line, run the ball up the middle. The only way he's adapted since then is now he just does dink and dunks. He doesn't throw it deep. He doesn't spread the defense out. He runs routes with 4 receivers that all do 5-yard curls, and there's no one open because the defense knows it's coming. So Jason Garrett, the Giants will do nothing. Daniel Jones had actually a pretty good rookie season under Pat Shurmur. Now, I'll admit, Pat Shurmur's a garbage head coach, not a leader of men, weird to the media, guys didn't play for him, but he was a very, very good offensive mind. Yep. And it showed on Sunday when the Broncos ran all over the Giants, ran and threw all over the Giants with Teddy stinking Bridgewater.
Yep.
Ben McAdoo, absolute garbage head coach, good offensive mind. He can call a game. He can draw up schemes, do everything. Jason Garrett, I don't know what kind of head coach he is. He's just kind of there. Offensive mind, garbage. The game's passed him by.
Yeah.
I think Judge has potential to be a great head coach. He's a leader of men. Guys play for him. Even last year when the Giants were trash, guys still play for him. Their D coordinator, young guy, guys like playing for him. How do you have those two guys and then Jason Garrett? That's a problem with the Giants organization. You have Mara calling the shots in certain situations. So he's like, oh yeah, we got 2 young guys over here, head coach, D coordinator. Now I need my old dinosaur guy over here. The Giants are always 1 step forward, 2 steps back. They do good things and then they do bad things and go backwards. It just drives me absolutely insane. I'm not picking them until they prove me wrong. That's it. And I could keep going on and on.
I know you could. I let you go, I feel like, a little too long there, but I agree with everything you said. Jason Garrett's a fucking joke of a coach. So I assume you're taking Washington -3 at home.
Yes.
All right. I would agree with you, and I think I'll probably make a real bet on that game.
And
exactly
I'll also
on that
say,
line.
I think Washington's a good team. They have a very, very good defense. And I think Heineke is actually pretty good from what we saw last year.
Yeah, we got to talk about my savior, Ryan Fitzmagic. He's getting hurt game 1. It's weird. He had a hip injury, which typically are reserved for senior citizens, but he's kind of there already. So I'm a little disappointed, but yeah, I agree with you. They're a good football team. They actually might shut the Giants out. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you.
It depends if the Giants can pass block at least a little bit.
I saw a tweet that the Giants had, and I think I sent it to you, 5 drives where they got inside the Broncos' 35-yard line, and they came away with 0 points on those drives. I didn't even think that was possible.
Because Jason Garrett's so conservative. Like,
Yeah.
no shots. The NFL these days, it's not a conservative offensive league. Like,
No.
what are you watching? The sports passed him by.
Yep.
Get him out of here.
All right, moving on. Give me the next game.
All right. Well, I'll give you Bob's game. The Rams -3.5 at the Colts.
Yeah, Rams, good showing. I think you picked, that was one of your wins, I think, last week. You picked them as favorites at home. Now they're favorites on the road. Wentz hasn't shown me enough. Stafford's absolute match with McVay, like we all expected. So give me the Rams -3.5 on the road. All right, you get another AFC East matchup. These always kind of fall to you in the order here, but yeah, your Bills are 3.5-point favorites on the road against the Dolphins, who just had it was the victory over the Patriots. So yeah, that's interesting. The 0-1 Bills against the 1-0 Dolphins.
It is, and you know what? This is a pick I'm not sure which way to go with because I didn't watch one single play of the Dolphins-Patriots game because it was on at the same time as the Giants. So I just was strictly on the Giants game. And the Steelers-Bills game, I mean, I didn't see too much of that. Man. I almost feel like I'm going to go with week 2. Road team who had a home letdown is going to get refocused, come in, ready to stomp some butt. And the Dolphins probably feeling good about, beating the Patriots up there, coming home in their own beds, going to South Beach, feeling a little loose. So I'm going to take the Bills.
All right. I can get behind that.
I'm not happy that it's -3.5. I would feel much more comfortable with 3, but
yeah.
All right. All right, James. You're going to get the Bengals +2.5 at the Bears.
All right, I'm glad I got this game. I saw an article about the betting lines I was reading just before this. I guess this line opened at Bengals +4, and about 85% of the money has been going to the Bengals, and that's why the line's moved to 2.5. It's crazy to have that much public money going to one team, but I gotta say, I even like them at +2.5. They looked pretty good last week against the Vikings. So I like Burrow. I like Chase. His protection held up. That was a big concern heading into the season, was that he wouldn't, his offensive line would fall apart. And until the Bears start Justin Fields, I am not betting on them. So give me the Bengals +2.5.
All right. The only thing I'll say about that is, to me, it's the opposite situation of what I just said with the Bills and Dolphins. You got a home team coming off a big win, road team coming off a big loss.
Fair enough.
Now they're flipped. Now the Bears are at home with a -2.5 spread is pretty juicy. Refocused. I don't think the Bears are as bad as they looked versus the Rams. And also, I don't think the Bears were actually that horrible. The Rams just had some big plays. And I think the Rams are a force to be reckoned with. So I think it's tough.
You remember Cooper Kupp's touchdown, the deep bomb?
Yeah.
He had 11 yards of separation. I saw the analytics behind it.
That's got to be coaching.
That's the most separation any receiver has had in 3 years. So I don't know what the Bears are doing on defense, but it's not good. So I assume you would take the Bears -2.5 then, if this was your game to pick?
That'd be tough. I think I would lean that way. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But
Good.
Slightly.
Okay. All right. So I'm glad I got that game. I'm glad you're getting this game. Your new favorite team, the Denver Broncos, are 6-point favorites against your other favorite team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Urban Meyer and you are basically best friends at this point. So who do you like in this game?
I mean, 6-point favorite on the road, week 2, only because you stomped out the garbage Giants. Jaguars, 6 points at home, only because you lost to the garbage Texans. think it's inflated completely both ways.
I want no part of this game. I'm so happy it fell to you on the order here.
You're a dick. Man, that's. You know what? I actually don't know what, to be honest. I'm gonna go with the Broncos. You know what? Teddy Bridgewater versus Trevor Lawrence at this stages in their career. Bridgewater's a better quarterback. Coaching,
right.
I think Urban Meyer is just a celebrity coach, if you will. He's got the name. I probably said the same stuff last week, but I don't trust Urban Meyer as an NFL coach until he proves to me he can put together a game plan and win a game. So give me the Broncos -6. And also, I'm going against exactly what I said to start this, where take dogs. I've taken 3 favorites in a row.
Yeah, a couple of quick comments. So yeah, Urban Meyer, NFL is about game plans and coaching. College is much more on the recruiting side, right? That's very important.
Yeah, get the best athletes and have them run over, Sam Houston State.
Yeah, I don't know who I would pick in this game. So like I said, I'm glad you got it. It'll be interesting to see if Teddy Two Gloves can pull it off.
I mean, he looks like a high school quarterback out there, but hey, he beat the Giants. All right. Well,
a high school quarterback could beat the Giants.
All right.
Sorry, that was below the line.
All right, Nick Bloomer's not coming out to beat the Giants anytime soon. He was a quarterback, right?
He was a wide receiver.
Yeah. Who was your quarterback back then?
Greg Larioni.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
All right, Larioni's not coming out to beat the Giants anytime soon.
All right.
Texans +12.5 at the Browns.
Yeah, this is another one of those stupid high spreads that shouldn't happen in the NFL, and I'm calling it now. I'm making the same mistake that I made last week, picking the Bucks, going with the Browns -12.5, because at this point I just really hate the Houston Texans, because I picked Jacksonville last week to beat them, and Jacksonville embarrassed me. So now I kind of have a vendetta against the Texans. So I'll pick against them until I'm right. Give me the Browns 12.5.
All right, easy enough. You can skip one and give me the next one.
Yep. So you are the AFC East. You're getting the Patriots at the Jets. The line right now, I'd say, is probably pretty fair. It's the Patriots -6 on the road, although, we both know it's not much of a road game. Patriots going down to New York. So what do you think?
That's another one where I need to at least see. I know the Jets they kept it close versus the Panthers, but this is another one I have no idea. Did the Jets sustain like any big injuries or?
Yeah, their left tackle, second year left tackle, Malachi Betcon. Yeah. I don't know how long he's out, but I think it's at least a game. So that doesn't help. They also had LaMarcus Joyner. I think it was his elbow. He might be out for the season. So yeah, they did have some injuries.
Oh man. I have absolutely zero idea. Should I just pick all favorites this week? The Jets, who's their coach? Saleh? Nah, you know what? I'm going to go with the Jets in this game.
All right. Talk yourself into the Jets.
Yeah.
A move, no doubt, every bettor or a mistake every bettor has made at least once in his life. So.
You got rookie quarterback versus rookie quarterback. But the thing is, though, Patriots coming off a home loss. Jets coming off a road loss. But, yeah. This is like, when I sit here and look at this, I'm like, I would never bet on this game in real life. Absolutely no chance.
Nope.
Yeah. So I'm just throwing darts. All right. Next one, though, doesn't have a line open yet. And I wonder why. That's strange.
Oh, no. You got to go back one. You're skipping ahead.
Oh, yep. Okay, sorry. This one does have a line. We have the Raiders +5.5 at the Steelers. Interesting. Well, I think we know who you're taking, but you can
Yeah,
you can explain yourself.
History has said, even when the Raiders have been poor over the last 12, 15 years at this point, we've always played the Steelers really, really well. Some of the highlights was Terrell Pryor's 93-yard run on the quarterback keeper. It was right to open the game. It was just fantastic and kind of set the stage. Roethlisberger has only missed the playoffs 5 times in his career. All 5 were by 1 game. In all 5 years, he lost to the Raiders. So just knocking on, that's, you can look that up. Just
It's a
knocking on
wild
wood.
stat. Yeah.
Yeah, wild stat. Knocking on wood that it happens again. I like the 5.5 point line. Pittsburgh, awesome defense, but kind of similar to the Ravens. Good defense, poor offensive line, which I think the Raiders might be able to take advantage of based on last week. So, give me the Raiders with the points. Last week, I bet the Raiders straight up in real life. I probably wouldn't do that this time, but it would be close. So, but I think with the 5.5 points, it's a safe bet for the Raiders.
Yeah, maybe hammer the 5.5 and then just dabble a little on the money line.
Yep, exactly. So, let's see. I'm going to skip the game without a line and try to find one on another site here and go and skip down to the 49ers against the Eagles. Like I said last week, Eagles showed out much better than what I expected. So the line is only San Fran -3, but they're on the road. So what do you think there?
San Fran -3 at the Eagles. Oh yeah, San Fran in Detroit, but they let Detroit come back, which was kind of funny. Do you think San Fran stayed on the East Coast, or do you think they went back and then they're coming back?
If I had to guess this early in the season, I'm guessing they came back.
I think they went back.
They could have gone over there early, right? And actually stayed a while, but who knows?
You know what? I'll take the Eagles at home, as much as I hate it.
Okay, Eagles at home getting 3 points.
+3, yeah. I mean, yeah. Going with that. I'm not going to explain why I'm picking the Eagles because I never want to explain that. So I don't want to hear myself actually talk about picking the Eagles. So let's move on.
All right.
We got it. Falcons +12.5 at the Bucks.
I mean, this is tough, right? Again, it seems like I'm getting stuck with all these huge lines here. With the game earlier, the Browns-Texans game, I said, taking the Browns, even though I know it's probably the wrong bet on such a big line. Sitting here looking at this game, I feel like I can't take the Falcons. They got embarrassed by the Eagles. They're on the road in Tampa. Tampa's offense looked fantastic. Their defense was a little rough around the edges, but they were playing a very good offense in the Cowboys. So I don't think that's going to be an issue this time around. So give me Tampa -12.5.
Yep, I agree. I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers showed actual, not promise, but they showed they're a real football team. The Falcons showed absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
They look like a joke, and now they're going to go on the road to Tampa. Tampa's probably, I guarantee the message that Bruce Arians said after the game was, fellas, great win, but we snuck one out there. Like, we can't have games that close. Like, we're a good team to win outright, not, be, thinking our lucky stars every game. So
yeah,
I feel like the Bucs are going to come out ready to stomp these guys out.
Yeah, and one thing I forgot to mention in the Raiders game and in this game, Tampa 10 days rest playing on Thursday, right, where Atlanta's only got 7. On the flip side for that Raiders-Steelers game, this is why I won't take them straight up. They're coming off an overtime Monday night game, traveling east and playing at 1 o'clock. How come when the Chargers go to Washington, it's a 4 o'clock game? Anytime the Raiders go east, it's 1 o'clock. The schedulers say there's no reason that couldn't be a 4 o'clock game. Zero reason. So
I agree.
Fuck the NFL schedulers. That's all I'm going to say about that until the next time they go east.
Yep, I agree. I think you're right.
All right. Next game, interesting. Vikings at the Cardinals. Line is only 3.5 right now. I feel like it should be more, but I don't know. What do you think?
I'm going Cardinals all the way, man. I think they're going to roll. Chandler Jones. The Vikings, I think, are frauds. They've always been frauds. They've always been a middling team that sometimes make the playoffs. Got Kirk Cousins, got this. I think the Cardinals are an actual real team. Good offense, good weapons, good defense. 3.5 at home, to me, like, I think this line should be 4 to 5, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe even up into the 6 territory with how well the Cardinals played. So, yep,
Yeah.
agreed.
All right. I'll give you Tadio's and Schmedz's boys. Cowboys plus 3.5 at the Chargers.
Yeah, this is going west. I believe this is it's the 4:30 game or 4:25 game. Yeah, I'm going to take the Cowboys with the points. They played the Buccaneers well, who were the defending champs. Chargers had a good win on the road against Washington, no doubt. But I don't know. I like the Cowboys' offense and their firepower there. Their defense wasn't terrible, which was the case all last year. So give me the Cowboys as underdogs there.
Yeah, and the Cowboys, they're used to playing out in Los Angeles because they spend a week or two out there for training camp every year, right?
Yep, exactly. Good point.
It's another thing to feel at home for them. So yeah, I like that.
All right. The last game on the Sunday afternoon slate.
Seahawks, don't even say it. Titans are trash. I'm never picking them again. As per Jeff, he told me that. So, yep, that's my reason.
Okay, Titans equal trash. Going Seahawks. I mean, I feel like we got to drag this segment out. This is the only part of the podcast that Jeff listens to, but that's fair. I can't complain with you. They look like absolute dog shit against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
You saw the one tweet where it was the all-22 film where Budda Baker, the strong safety, was rushing off the edge against Tyler Lewan, the supposed Pro Bowl left tackle, and just pancaked him. He threw him around like it was no one's business.
Because Lewan didn't have his feet under him.
Because he's lazy.
Realized this guy's off balance. Boop. He's done. It's all about balance.
It seems like he's lazy. Like, the stud left tackle should always have his feet about him, right? I mean, I don't know. He pushed him over like he was a piece of paper. So,
yeah. I also saw that the Titans, did they cut their kicker? Right?
They did cut him. Yeah.
Else. I mean, you just give up 5 sacks to one guy. I mean, I'm really just going based. Jeff is my Titans beat reporter, so everything he says, I'm like, okay, that's how the Titans really are. And I thought last week the Seahawks. Russell Wilson already looks in midseason form.
Yeah, he looked fantastic.
Yeah, so and it's only 5.5. He's win by 6, win by a touchdown, you cover. So to me, this is one of the most no-brainer bets of the week. And Jeff says the Titans have a bad defense, which it showed as well. So what do the Titans actually have going for them in this game?
That's what they're going to cover. Just going to say. And I said if they lose this game and get blown out, is Vrabel on the hot seat because their special teams suck. They've already cut their kicker. Their defense sucks, and that's what Vrabel is responsible for. He brought in a D coordinator this year, and apparently that hasn't helped. And I'm sorry, we didn't bring this up. I didn't remember on the podcast last week, Todd Downing, who is out of all the horrible coaches that the Oakland Raiders saw over the last 15 years, he was the worst offensive coordinator. And it baffles me this guy got another job. He should have been shot into the sun because he was so bad in Oakland. He took a playoff team, the one time we made the playoffs over the last 15 years, and turned them into, a 4-12 or 5-11 team with the exact same roster? And Jeff, no, I don't want to hear about Amari Cooper getting injured. Amari Cooper was hot and cold when he was on the field with the Raiders. We had Crabtree. We had Jared Cook. I mean, we were a solid offense before Downing took over. So completely agree with you. I'm going Titans are going defeated until I see some changes.
Yeah. And one last note about the Titans. I feel like me and Jeff, we're in the same boat right now with our teams.
Yep.
Mine and Jeff's biggest gripes are with our coaches. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
it seems like the Titans just do the same thing, just hire these like retread coaches that they think are all of a sudden going to become good. And it just, one bad coach can ruin a team. Jason Garrett ruins the team. I like the head coach. I like the special teams coach. I like the D coordinator. But O coordinator, that's half of the game or 45% of the game right there.
Yep.
And same with the Titans. It seems like Jeff's always complaining about the coaches, and I understand why.
Yep.
Hopefully Jeff's happy about that.
I'm sure we'll get a text.
Yeah, all right. The Sunday night game. This will actually be a pretty good game to watch. Huh?
Okay.
What? Chiefs at Ravens?
Yeah.
You don't think this will be a good game?
If the Chiefs are as good as the media says they are, and the Raiders are as bad as the media says they are, and the Ravens lost to the Raiders, then the Chiefs are just going to blow
James,
the Ravens out. I honestly, 3.5.
Take your Raiders glasses off for 1 second. You know the Raiders had no business winning that game, number one.
We won it twice. We
Number
won it
2
different times.
All right, not no business, but yeah, the Raiders, but typical Raiders fashion, blowing wins you should have, but obviously great play by making Jackson fumble, getting the ball back, and then converting. But the Chiefs, like they squeaked it out versus the Browns. It's not like they blew them out. And the Ravens, it's not like they got blown out by the Raiders. Now Ravens back at home. All right, this is your pick, but I don't think it's as cut and dry as you think.
Yeah. Sorry, I chalk
Go
up.
ahead.
I chalk up the slowness or the tightness of the two games to, again, preseason, week 1, getting the rust off, right? Even in preseason, even the guys that play, you're running the most vanilla version of your offense that you can. So even if some starters are playing, you don't have all of them. So no, I don't think this one is particularly close. I'm taking the Chiefs all day at -3.5. I would probably take them at -5.5. I'm not sure about -6, but probably -5.5. I would take them. This one's easy for me. Give me the Chiefs.
That's a bold pick. Those are bold statements. All right.
All right. We'll see.
I know. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Finally, you get one of the double-digit lines. Monday night. I'm really not sure how I feel about this being the Monday night game, although
it's trash.
I know that Tuesday I'll at least be productive at work, which wasn't the case this week. Lions plus 11.5 in Green Bay.
I mean, there's a 0% chance I expect the Packers to do what they just did. So, and there's also a 0% chance that I trust the Lions in Green Bay. When I think back to the NFC Norris, I think Packers and Vikings have close games, and the Packers and the Bears have close games. Anytime I think of the Lions going to Green Bay, I think blowout. Have the Lions ever, like, I'm not going to look it up, but recent memory, even like last 20 years memory, like think of all the Barry Sanders highlights you've ever seen. I can't think of one at Lambeau Field.
Oh yeah, they were always in the Lions Stadium, always in the dome. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, this is going just based off foggy memory, but I feel like the Packers always destroy the Lions at home. So, I mean, maybe there was one like Calvin Johnson game where the Lions got him, or I can't remember, but. Yeah, I'm taking the Packers here. And I think think about if the Packers would have beat the Saints or at least made it a close game. What would this line have been?
Yeah, that would have been crazy. Yeah, and I know San Francisco kind of blew it at the end, giving up the fluky onside kick, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, they only lost by 7 to San Fran, so yeah, it'll be interesting. Not a game that I'm staying up late for unless it's close, but I don't think it will be. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right, so last game that we skipped, 1 p.m. game because couldn't find a line here, but we got it now. We got the Saints -3.5 at the Panthers.
Saints, Jameis Winston had the most interesting stat line I've ever seen. 5 touchdowns, threw it like 20 times, less than 200 yards, I believe. But regardless, threw the ball really well. Saints offense seemed to click relatively well against the Packers. Now, is their defense any good? Who really knows? But I mean, it's still an overall a good professional team that they wiped the floor with. Panthers played the Jets, did pretty well. McCaffrey looked good. Darnold looks surprisingly good. But I just think the Saints have too much firepower for the Panthers, even though they're on the road. So give me the Saints minus 3.5.
I agree with that. And I think the Saints offense is only going to get better as each week goes on. As Sean Payton realizes, like, oh, wow, now I have a quarterback with an actual arm attached to his shoulder. And I don't have to watch Drew Brees' floaty little ducks go 15 yards every play.
Yep,
So-
agreed. I will say shout out to myself for picking up Jawan Johnson in every single league. He's the second Saints tight end, or the second string Saints tight end, caught a touchdown pass. I think he was a 5th or 6th round rookie pick last year as a wide receiver. They converted him to tight end this year, and he looked good, right? I mean, he's a wide receiver, so he can run and catch. They don't ask him to block too much. So I'm hoping this can butt into a Jimmy Graham type situation, and I have a stud T for years to come.
Yeah, who's the Saints' first string tight end, by the way?
It is Adam Troutman, who I think was a rookie last year as well, but maybe 2nd or 3rd round they picked him. They picked this Jawan Johnson later as a wide receiver. Like I say, converted him to tight end.
Kind of like Evan Ingram type.
Yeah, except he catches the ball.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
what the quotes were for. And stays healthy.
All right. Anything else to note as we head into week 2 here?
No, I don't think so.
All right, good
I
deal.
think that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, good luck on your picks. Good luck to the Giants. Like I said in our text earlier, I think the best thing for them would be getting blown out for the next 8 games, so Garrett gets fired. But we'll see.
If they lose this game, Garrett should honestly get pulled, like the plug pulled, because there's going to be 10 straight days of the New York media bashing the Giants, and then they play the garbage Falcons. If they lose to the Falcons, it's game over. So
yeah. Let's get through tomorrow night before we start talking about the Falcons.
Yeah, all right.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Good talking to you. Good luck this week. And yeah, that's it. See you later.
Adios.
Fireball.